Hello students, today we have got history lecture. But before we start with the history lecture, your performance in the first online assessment exam was not up to the mark. And why it was not up to the mark? Because you all have not read the lessons. Whatever objectives were given to you all just did a guessing work and clicking on the answers. So now I would like to request everyone to please read the textbook because now you'll be having for first terminal 40 marks paper. Is a request students to keep on reading the lessons. Today we'll do chapter number 8 in history in your textbook. Come to page number 52 and the name of the lesson is tourism and history. We are going to discuss all these points in this lesson. So please pay attention. Mm, mm, mm. Okay. First thing we are going to see tourism in the past. The tradition of traveling is quite old in India. We people keep on traveling from one place to another, and it's a very old thing that we keep on traveling. People used to travel for various reasons, like pilgrimage. Pilgrimage means going to holy places, going for the holy visit, going to local fairs and festival in search of a renowned teacher and good education. So we keep on traveling. We go and visit various fairs. We go and visit various festivals. In brief, from ancient time, people took to traveling for various reasons. So we are traveling, and there is reason why we are going to different places. Now, tourism. Tourism can be defined as traveling to visit place in distinct region for specific purpose. So what's the definition of tourism? What tourism means? Tourism means traveling. We travel to different places to visit places in distinct regions for specific purpose. And why we travel for the specific purpose. In the later half of 19th century CE, the name of Thomas Cook is is noteworthy in the context of tourism history. So today also this Thomas Cook is very famous. They organize tours for different places. He organized a trip by railway from Lancaster to Langborg for about 600 people. Later, he was successfully in organizing a round trip of Europe. Eventually, he established a travel agency selling tourist tickets. This early venture of Thomas Cook opened door for development of modern tourism. So because of this, Thomas Cook used to organize trips around the world, and today he has done lot of changes. Now, we'll see types of tourism, but before discussing types of tourism, see again on your page number 52. The Buddhist literature tells us that Gautam Buddha traveled to several cities in ancient India. So what the Buddhist literature tells us that Gautam Buddha traveled to different cities. Buddhist monks were ordered not to stay at one place but keep traveling continuously to various places. These monks who keep on traveling from one place to another. Jain monks, sadhus also used to travel constantly. So these people, Jain monks or sadhus, keep on traveling from one place to another. Yuan Shuang, the Chinese monk, traveled to India in 630 CE. In the medieval period, Sant Namdev, Sant Eknath, Guru Nanak, Ramdas Swami traveled extensively in India. So all the saints of Maharashtra traveled in India. Now, Benjamin of Tudela is known as the first European traveler. So, who was Benjamin? He was a European traveler and a discoverer. He was born in Spain during the period of 1159 to 1173 CE. He traveled to France, Germany, Italy, Greece, Syria, Arabia, Egypt, Iraq, Persia, India, and China. So this person, this Benjamin, traveled all these places. He maintained diaries of the account of his travels. Diaries means that whichever place he visited, he kept on writing what information he got from these various places. His diaries are viewed as important historical documents. Marco Polo, the Italian traveler of the 13th century, introduced Asia, especially China, to Europe. He stayed in China for 17 years. So, who stayed in China for 17 years? Marco Polo. He wrote about the flora and fauna, social life, culture, and trade system of Asia. So, he written about natural diversity, about the animals, about the flowers. Then Ibn Battuta, the traveler of the 14th century, took the world on a virtual travel of the Islamic world with his travel account. So even Battuta traveled to Islamic world. He was traveling for 30 years. He had resolved not to travel twice on the same route. His accounts are helpful in understanding the medieval history and social life. Then Gerardus Mercator of 16th century was a cartographer. He is known for creating a world map and globe of India. So he it has been said that he has been creating a world map. His work proved to be very useful for navigation around the world. Navigation means for traveling by sea route has proved is one of the useful achievement. The tradition of traveling from corner to corner means what every part of the world, was prevalent in India from ancient times. Vishnu Bhatt Godse wrote down the account of his journey from Maharashtra to Ayodhya and back to Maharashtra. So this person, Vishnu Bhatt Godse, he written his journey from Maharashtra to Ayodhya and back. It is published as a book entitled Maza Pravas. Maza Pravas means my traveling. Vishnu Bhatt traveled during times of the Indian War of Independence in 1857. So when there was the Indian War of Independence, during that period also he has traveled. He was an eyewitness for many events related to the historical event. His accounts are full of detailed description about various incidents during this period. So what happened during this period? He has noted down and kept, and he was an eyewitness. Especially those about the life of Lakshmi Bai, the Queen of Jhansi. We also get to know the nature of Marathi language of the 18th century. This book is one of the important source of history of that period. Now, on your page number 53, we have got types of tourism. Now, let us see which are the different types of tourism. These days, tourism has become an independent field of local, intra-state. Intra-state means what? You can travel from one state to another state. National, from one nation to another nation, and international, going out of India. Business. This desire to visit national and international monuments, places of historical importance and natural beauty, ancient centers known for handicraft. Handicraft, people do things, people make things things with the help of bamboo stick or something that's called handicraft. Pilgrim centers, holy places, industrial centers, and sites of various development projects, etc. promote tourism. Tourists from all over the world wish to visit natural and man-made sites. So today people are visiting natural beauty and man-made sites, which offer a delightful and awe-inspiring experience. So our experiment something you can get the first-hand information by visiting various places. The places like snow-capped, okay, going to a snow region, where places where snow falls, peaks, beaches, Prenstein, jungles which were neglected previously became important location of tourist interest. Mass media began to make special audio-visual presentation highlighting places of interest. So today, audio-visual, they do the presentation of different places so where people are attracted of going and visiting these places. Tourism can be broadly typified into local tourism, intrastate tourism, international tourism, religious tourism, historical tourism, health tourism, science tourism, agro-tourism, sports tourism based on special events, etc. Now we will see one by one all this thing in detail. Now, first thing, local and intra-state tourism. This kind of tourism is very overwhelming because it is within one's own country. So, what you mean by local and interstate tourism? You travel within your own country. It does not cause difficulties of language, procuring currency and documents since you are traveling locally or interstate, so there is no problem with your currency. You have got same currency and documents. More so we can plan it at the time suitable to us. Now, international tourism means you're going out of your country and going to visit some different place. Nowadays, it has become easier to travel because of easy availability of number of options of railway. You can travel by railway, marine. You can go by sea routes and air transport by air. Marine transport has linked the coastal region. So today, sea routes have connected with all the coastal region. There is a trans-European railway route. Aviation has brought the entire world closer. So aviation, traveling by plane, has brought the world closer. Because of the economic liberalization policy of the Indian government, the number of people traveling back and forth from India has increased considerably. So today traveling from India and visiting different places has been increased. They include people traveling for studies. Some of the students go in other countries for studying relaxation. Some people go for relaxing in different countries, sightseeing and professional assessment. Some go for business purpose or meeting agreements. Also for shooting of films, etc. One needs to procure various official documents for traveling abroad. Means if you're going to out of your country, what you require your passport and other documents are necessary if you're going for international tour. tour. Now, historical tourism. This type of tourism is popular. So again, from the name it signifies historical tourism, going to visit some of the historical places. This type of tourism is popular all over the world. Tour Tours to historical places are arranged to satisfy people's interest in history. So it makes clear why we go to historical places to satisfy our historical interest. It can be noted in this context that Gopal Nilkant Dandekar, a renowned Marathi writer, used to arrange hiking tour. Hiking, climbing a mountain. Okay, so it's called a hiking tour to forts in Maharashtra to explore the site closely linked to Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj and his achievements. Tours are also arranged to important historical sites in India, such as forts in Rajasthan, ashrams of Mahatma Gandhi and Acharya Vinoba Bhave, important place related to the Indian War of Independence in 1857, etc. So this is called what? This is called your historical tourism, visiting forts or visiting ashrams or visiting places which are related to a war or something. Now, now, what is this? You would like to know this. People of various regions, communities are dispersed globally. Dispersed means what? Spread everywhere. However, they feel united because of their mythological tradition and places associated with those tradition. Now, mythological traditions, mythological stories of God and goddesses, some of the places have the importance of God and goddesses, and people wish to visit those places. This creates a desire to travel to those places and it gives rise to religious tourism. In this context, the construction undertaken by Ahilyabai Holkar spending from her personal funds are noteworthy. Ah- Ahilyabai wanted to provide good amenities. Amenities means what? Facilities on the pilgrim routes like Chavdham Yatra and Bara Jyoti links. Bara Jyoti links is what? 12 different forms of Lord Shiva visiting these places. Now let us see what you mean by geographic tourism. This type of tourism involves visiting place to observe special geographic feature of a region. So some of the places has got importance of geographical features. Geographical features includes what? The climate, temperature, forest, all this comes into geographic tourism. It includes various natural and animal sanctuaries, places like Valley of Flowers, Uttarakhand. Uttarakhand is known as a place of flowers. Various beaches, for example, if you go to Goa, there are many beaches, and this is one of the geographical tourism. Unique geographical wonders like the Crater Lake at Lonar and Raj Kalinga naturally carved out cavities in rock at Nikjuk in Maharashtra. Many tourists like to visit these places to satisfy their curiosity. So many people visit these places. Now, health tourism. People from the Western countries find the health services and facilities in India comparatively cheaper and yet of good standard. So, health tourism, people from different countries, they come to country of India. Why? Because India has got different type of climate, a various type of climate. So, people come to visit India also. Hence, many foreigners prefer to come to India to avail of the medical facilities and health services. India is a tropical country where ample means what? Plenty of sunlight is seen in the country of India is available throughout the year. So some of the foreigners they come to India. Why? To feel sunlight in the country of India. This attracts tourists from countries with cold climate to India. Availability of facilities for yoga training and therapies based on Ayurveda is one more reason to want to visit India. In India, we have got good yoga training, we have got good Ayurveda facilities. So people from different countries, from foreign countries, come to get themselves satisfied with yoga and Ayurveda. Now, agrotourism. Agrotourism, which is also known as agrotourism, is rapidly developing, especially meant for the urban population, which has very little exposure to rural life and agriculture. As the name itself suggests, agrotourism means people come to see the various agriculture grown in the country of India, because India is an agricultural country. Now, Indian farmers are also visiting far away places like agricultural research centers. So, Indian farmers are going to different places to get information about agriculture of different countries. Israel, where experimentation is advanced, technology of agriculture is carried out. Sports tourism. Sports tourism was developed in the 20th century. So sports tourism has been developed recently. There are various sports events organized on international level like Olympics, Olympics, Wimbledon World Chess Championship and international cricket tournaments, etc. While there are events like Himalayan Car Rally on national level events like Maharashtra Kesari wrestling competition. Wrestling means what? Kusti competitions have been conducted and people from different places come to watch this wrestling competition are organized on the state level. Traveling to attend such events come under sports tourism. Tourism based on special events. People want to travel and they are often on the lookout for special reason to, to do it. In the 21st century, it has become common to organize such events which also help to promote tourism, film festivals, various types of seminar and conference. So various regions or countries have got different types of seminar or conference or international book exhibition, etc. Are example of such special events. People keep visiting several places to attend such special events. Many literature enthusiasts in Maharashtra travel every year to attend Akhil Bharatiya Marathi Sahitya Sammelan. Then what is this Akhil Bharatiya Marathi Sahitya Sammelan? So once in a year, Akhil Bharatiya Marathi Sammelan has been conducted and people from various places come to attend this program. Pan India Military Marathi Literary Convention. So all these programs are conducted and people come to visit these places. Okay, students, we'll do it till here. Hope so. You have understood what we have done, what's the meaning of tourism and different types of tourism. In the next lecture, we will continue from 8.3. Thank you, students.